The observation deck of the Krell battlecruiser Void's Embrace hummed, with the quiet confidence of inevitable victory. Commander Zalthar stood before the holographic display, watching the human colony ship drift helplessly in the void, its engines dark, life support failing. Behind him, his second-in-command, Lieutenant Vrax, monitored the human vital signs with clinical detachment. Their oxygen reserves are at 11%. Vrax reported, his mandibles clicking with satisfaction. The human female's neural patterns show extreme distress. She will break soon, Zalthar nodded. The Krell had perfected this technique over centuries of conquest. Disable the vessel, let the prey marinate in their own fear, then offer terms. The humans always accepted. Every species did when death whispered close enough. On the screen, the human woman, Captain Sarah Chen, according to their intelligence, gripped the armrests of her command chair. Her crew of 200 souls depended on her next decision. The Krell had given her an ultimatum: surrender the colony ship's navigation data, revealing the locations of 7 undefended human settlements, or watch her people suffocate in the cold vacuum of space. "She's attempting communication again," Vrax announced. Zalthar gestured and Captain Chen's face materialized before him. She was pale, sweat beading on her forehead. Her breathing labored in the thinning atmosphere. Her eyes, however, burned with something Zalthar had seen countless times before, the last ember of defiance before the inevitable collapse. "Commander," she gasped, "my engineer." "His name is Marcus Webb. He's asking about the weapon." Zalthar's translator implant processed her words, but something seemed garbled. The Krell leaned forward. "What weapon? You have no weapons capable of—" "Don't," she whispered, her voice fading. Her head lolled slightly, oxygen deprivation clearly affecting her cognition. "Stop." The transmission cut to static. Zalthar turned to Vrax. "What was that about a weapon?" "Unknown, Commander. There are no weapon signatures from their vessel. She may be hallucinating from hypoxia." But something gnawed at Zalthar's mind. In 300 years of military service, he had learned one cardinal rule: never dismiss a human's last words, no matter how irrational they seemed. Humans were unpredictable, their capacity for deception matched only by their capacity for self-sacrifice. "Scan their engineering section again," he ordered. Deep penetration scan. The results came back within seconds. Vrax's scales paled to an ashen gray. "Commander, there's a massive energy buildup in their reactor core. It's not standard human technology. The signature matches. It matches a quantum cascade device." Zalthar's 3 hearts skipped in synchronized terror. A quantum cascade device. A theoretical weapon so devastating that the Galactic Council had banned even research into its development. It would create a localized singularity, consuming everything within a light-minute radius. The human ship would be destroyed, yes, but so would the Void's Embrace and everything aboard it. "She wasn't surrendering," Zalthar breathed. "She was warning us. Commander, the device is reaching critical mass. 30 seconds to cascade threshold." Vrax's voice held the edge of panic that no amount of military training could suppress. The Void's Embrace was too close to jump to FTL. They had positioned themselves perfectly for intimidation, never imagining the prey would have fangs. Zalthar's mind raced through the impossible mathematics of their situation. The human captain had tried to tell him, don't stop the weapon. Don't interfere with what Marcus Webb was doing in engineering." Or perhaps she had meant to say, "Don't stop," an order directed at someone else, her final command to her engineer to see it through. Either way, he had misunderstood catastrophically. "Full reverse thrust," Zalthar roared. "Emergency power to engines." The Void's Embrace shuddered as its massive propulsion systems fought against momentum and physics. Alarms shrieked across every deck. But Zalthar knew with the cold certainty of mathematics that they would not make it. They were too close, had waited too long, had been too confident in their superiority. On the view screen, the human colony ship began to glow with an ethereal blue light. 15 seconds, Vrax whispered. Zalthar opened a channel to all Krell vessels in the sector. "This is Commander Zalthar of the Void's Embrace. To all Krell forces, humanity has developed quantum cascade technology. They will detonate rather than surrender. Adjust all engagement protocols. Never corner a human, never assume their compliance. They will—" The human ship exploded in a blossom of impossible light, but it was not a cascade detonation. The colony ship had self-destructed conventionally, a simple reactor overload that consumed only itself. The shockwave rattled the void's embrace but caused no critical damage. Within seconds, Zalthar understood. There had been no quantum cascade device. The energy signature his sensors detected had been a bluff, a clever manipulation of their reactor to mimic theoretical readings. Captain Chen had bet everything on Krell fear and paranoia, had known they would scan for exactly such a weapon, had counted on their retreat. And in their panicked withdrawal, the void's embrace had moved beyond effective weapons range. Zalthar watched as 7 human destroyers dropped out of FTL, their weapons hot, positioning themselves between the now obliterated colony ship and his battlecruiser. They must have been minutes away all along, racing to rescue the colony ship. Captain Chen had bought them the time they needed with her life and the lives of her crew. The human commander's face appeared on his screen, Admiral James Chen, according to the identification transponder. The family resemblance was unmistakable. The Admiral's voice was ice over steel. "Commander Zalthar, my sister's last transmission was garbled, but our technicians have cleaned it up. She was telling her engineer, 'Don't stop,'" she whispered. She was talking about our mother. The old lullaby she used to sing us. Sarah wanted him to know she wasn't afraid. Admiral Chen leaned forward, his eyes holding the same burning defiance Zalthar had seen in his sister. "But you thought she was warning you about a weapon. You ran. And now, Commander, you're going to explain to your superiors how a single unarmed colony ship defeated a Krell battlecruiser without firing a shot. You're going to tell them that humans don't break, we don't surrender, and we don't forget." The transmission ended. That night, Zalthar filed his report. Within a week, the Krell Empire recalled all forces from human space. Within a month, they proposed a non-aggression treaty. The Galactic Council, reading between the lines of Zalthar's account, understood what had happened. Humanity had won a war without a weapon, through nothing more than courage, sacrifice, and the willingness to make their enemies believe the unbelievable. Captain Sarah Chen and her crew of 200 became legends. And across the galaxy, a new phrase entered common usage among military strategists of every species. Never corner a human. They don't calculate odds the way we do. They calculate costs, and they're always willing to pay.